This podcast was originally live-streamed on the NonSequitur Show on YouTube. New episodes air weekdays, Monday through Friday, at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/NonSequitur Show. Make sure you never miss a live stream by visiting www.nonsecshow.com/schedule. For the latest news, polls and updates throughout the day, follow us on Twitter at NonSecShow or Facebook.com/NonSecShow. That's NonSeq Show. If you'd like to get exclusive content, bi-weekly private hangouts with Kyle and Steve, backstage access to chat with guests after shows hosted on your channel and much more, become a Patreon saint of NonSequitur. It ensures we continue to improve our show and brings you into the process at the same time. Visit patreon.com/NonSequitur today while the limited spots are still available.
The following podcast is intended for those who believe bold ideas are righteous, unique perspectives are gospel, and strong opinions are sacred. This is Non-Sequitur. Never follow. And now, here are your hosts, Kyle Curtis and Steve McRae.
Boom. All right, let's get it on. It is Flat Earth Fest for this Saturday. We have a triple header for you guys. Right now, we're going to be featuring Conspiracy Catz and Flat Out Hero. At 9:30, Red's Rhetoric and Scotty Storm. And then at 11 p.m., Jimmy will be joining me, and we will be doing an Ad Homies edition of Ad Homies. By the way, you're both invited to that show if you want to come. It's going to be kind of like an after show wrap up, talk about how it went. So if you're free at 11, you can come back and jump back on, and we'll kind of go through how things went. But anyway, welcome to Non-Sequitur. We're glad that you guys are watching out there. Steve is here. I'm sorry. Not Steve. Deceive McCreep is here. I'm Lyle. Every time his mouth moves, we
Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
That's him. The one and only. Yes, it is.
Hashtag we did not go to the moon. But yeah, David is producing. He's playing God tonight, as always. And let's say hello to our two esteemed guests tonight. We'll start out with the man in the sunglasses, Mr. Flat Out Hero. How are you today, sir?
I mean, shit, I'm doing hella good. Man. How you guys doing?
Hella good, man.
We're popping it off, man.
That's
We're
right.
Ready to pop
it off, dog. Pop it off.
ready to pop it off.
Ready to pop it off. Oh, this is going to be fantastic.
You ain't seen nothing yet. It's about to go down.
Awesome. Awesome. I believe it is, but not in the way that you think. That's the only thing. It is about to go down,
I'm
but
full
not
of surprises.
Great. All right, and then a man that I have come to just love his videos because they're hilarious, and the way that he cuts Dale into his videos is just fantastic. So we'll say a hello and welcome to Conspiracy Catz as well.
Well, hi guys, thanks very much for having us on. We're looking forward to it. I think I've just popped it off myself actually with that introduction. It were fantastic.
That's the hashtag tonight. Pop it off. All right. Let's go. Let's see what we've got coming up next Tuesday. Actually, well, let's start with tomorrow. Monday's Veterans Day, and we have an Atheists Veterans Day special that's going to be going off at 7:00 p.m. It's going to feature Dr. Richard Carrier, Jim Hall from the Atheist Edge will be there, and then following that will be the Smoking Nun, where we will be highlighting things from our favorite batshit crazy woman and cabbage juice peddler that thinks that drinking it can regrow your limbs, your arms, cure the gay, all of that stuff. Jeff Holiday will be joining us for that, so make sure you you're there. And then on Tuesday, Aaron Rob will be back after it's been about 2 months, hasn't it, Steve, since Aaron's been on?
Yeah, it's been a while.
So he'll be back with us to take on Jason King, and that will be really good. Okay, let's jump into our first flat Earth debate for tonight. And the way that we're going to work this, we're going to let each of them make kind of an opening statement, explain their positions and why they feel the way that they do. I talked to them earlier. The only thing that we ask is that neither of you talk over each other so that everybody listening can hear what you're having to say. We'll give you as much time as you need and to say what you need to say, and we won't cut you off, but just make sure you don't talk over each other. And that's the only thing we ask. Other than that, everything is legal. Chairs, tables, barbed wire, bats, whatever you use to pop things off with, Flat Out Hero. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's legal. Bring it. That was just a we are officially in dumpster fire territory, man. This is I've got my gloves ready. All right. So let's start with introductions first. Flat Out Hero, please let everybody know who you are, your channel, where people can find out more about you if they want to. If people who like popping things off can join you in popping things off.
I don't know if anybody wants to join me popping things off, but I can sure tell you where to go to do it. Again, my name is Flat Out Hero. I'm part of the YouTube community that is trying to make a movement to present Flat Earth to the world, try to spread truth about it, and basically the entirety of my movement is me. So I'm taking on the world.
You're your own movement.
Yep. Well, I'm
right.
the only one that's part of my movement. Yeah, there's a Flat Earth movement or whatever, but no, I'm the only one that's supporting myself in it. You can check my channel. I don't got nobody else fucking coming in fucking trying to like fight my battles for me or anything like that. And I tell people all the time, just let me handle it. It's all good. Like I want you guys to think that I'm outnumbered, and I want you guys to think that I'm gonna be totally dumpster fired. Like I'm straight up with you right now. That's what I want.
Lone wolf on this flat plane, right?
Pioneer, right. A trailblazer.
So, Conspiracy Catz.
Damn.
Tell us about yourself, sir.
Hi, yeah, so I'm Conspiracy Catz. I started a YouTube channel back in July, and the idea of the channel was to look at conspiracy theories. It wasn't a flat Earth channel. It was never really to do with flat Earth. I looked at people who thought water was an element and not a compound, silly conspiracies. And then about 2 months ago, I made a video about flat Earth and never looked back really. So I'll be moving on soon, but at the minute, the focus is sort of flat Earth and trying to look at the misconceptions people have with that and trying to have a bit of fun while I'm doing it.
Awesome. All right, it's go time. Pop off whenever you're ready. Flat Out Hero. Why is the Earth flat?
I will pop off. Oh, am I answering a question?
Sure.
Is that I got to answer the question first. Okay. Why is the Earth flat? Because that's the way it was made. I don't know how it was made, and I don't pretend to know anything about a model. I don't pretend to know anything about how shit does work. I can tell you how I think a lot of shit works, but basically my main purpose in this is not to tell you that the Earth is flat or to even try to get you to think that. My purpose is strictly to show you that there is a lot wrong with the ball Earth theory. Heliocentricity does not stand up to any of the repeatable tests. It does not stand up to the scientific method. I know you probably heard all this yada yada yada. I'll cut it short, man. I'm just here to fucking make sure you know the Earth is not a spinning ball.
Okay, well, now is your opportunity. So whenever you're ready, let us know why it's not.
Okay, well, yeah. Well, okay. Do you want to go point by point? Like I'll bring up a point and then you can retort, or what?
That's fine. We can do it that way. Let's go point by point.
All right. How about this? I told you earlier, Conspiracy Catz, that I was going to bring this up, so I hope you got prepared for it. Do you believe that when you're looking at the moon, it's as far away as NASA says, about 210 to 230 miles, 210 to 230,000 miles away?
I believe what NASA say about the moon, but if we're talking about the shape of the Earth, I'm not sure. I get that.
I'm trying to get to it. It won't be long. Again, so in order to say that you believe them, then you would have to be able to say that you can repeat being able to see something with your bare eyes from one position, but then when you're standing at the thing that you're looking at and looking back at where you were originally standing, that you have to use insane amounts of zooms. It's not even commercially available. So is there any other example that you can give where you have to use zoom looking at something the same distance, so that a way that you don't have to use any zoom at all to see the other way?
Sorry, can you just ask that again?
I'll try to play it a little bit
what you
easier.
say?
Like when they were on the moon for the Apollo missions, right? Like you believe the moon landing videos are real?
Yeah.
Okay, so when they're on the moon and then they show a picture of the Earth, a little like tiny half a ball up in the sky, when they show that, do you see any mountain ranges or like the Andes mountain range, for instance, like it's 4,300 miles long and it's about 300 miles wide? Do you see anything like that?
So just let me get this straight. I'm not being awkward deliberately, but are you trying to argue
No,
that the Earth
ahead.
isn't a ball, or are you trying to argue that the NASA missions were faked? Because the NASA missions and the moon missions, I don't believe they were fake. But if they were fake, that still doesn't have any reference on the shape of the Earth.
It does.
Yeah.
Though.
So
it really does,
like,
though.
do you believe that the moon landings did happen?
If I answer the question, then you're gonna answer my question, right? Okay. I do not believe that they are the. No, I don't think they ever went to the moon. No.
So if you don't think they went to the moon, then I'm not sure why you're bringing up cameras pointing at the Earth from the moon. If we're talking about the shape of the Earth, and scientific evidence for the Earth, then we can.
No, I'm talking about heliocentricity.
I don't understand the relevance.
I know you don't. I'm going to get to that point. Like I'm just trying to get to it real quick. It's like if you just answer the questions real quick, dude, we can get through it real quick. Be done with it in like 5 minutes, and you can bring up your point. So.
Okay, go on.
Can you bring up any example where you need to use optics to use zoom in order to see an object that you can see with your bare eyes standing if you're on the moon and you're looking at Earth, you can't see even way larger targets than like the 50-mile wide Copernicus crater, but somehow you believe that you have to or that you can just see it with the smaller 50-mile wide crater on the moon with bare eyes. Can you give me another example where something like that takes place? Why you would believe that's true?
Just right. So say they go. So what you're saying? You're saying there are features on the moon that are so small that we can see them with our bare eyes from Earth, but we shouldn't be able to see. Mm-hmm. Just explain that again.
Well, I'm saying like when I look at if I'm looking at a person that's exactly my height and my size, that is over, like Kyle, you're about 6 feet tall, right? Kyle, are you sleeping?
Yeah.
5'11".
You were just fucking nodding out.
No, I'm looking at the live chat.
Same exact. All right.
You have sunglasses on, so it looks like I'm
the same height. Right. And so fucking if I'm looking at you and I can see you with my bare eyes, and you got the same 20/20 vision that I do. Say you're standing a mile away from me. Do you know of any example that you can give that you would need to use insane amount of optics, like a telescopic view, just to be able to see me, even though I can see you with my bare eyes? Conspiracy Catz, that's what I'm asking you. Like, is that example, like, do you know of any other example that you can give for that?
Are you literally asking that if you were stood in front of me and I was stood in front of you, you could see me, but I need to get a camera out to see you? Is that what you're literally asking?
I was using Kyle as the demonstration,
I don't understand your question.
Yeah. Okay, look, if you're standing over there,
just ask it one more time. I don't understand what you're saying.
I'm trying. Yeah. I'm not getting impatient. I'm just trying to explain it. When you're standing a mile away from me, and we're the same height, and we have the same 20/20 vision, say, can you give any other example where it takes place that I would need to use optics, whereas you don't need any optics? You can see me with bare eyes.
But right, do you know what angular size is in perspective? Is that where you're coming from?
That's really what I'm getting at.
What? Right. Okay. Cal, can you bring up picture 13 that I sent you? Is that okay? Yeah. And what I want you to do, just if you're talking about perspective. Oh, sorry. Oh, it's Dave. Sorry.
It's okay.
What I want you to do, Flat,